That nigga that gained, nigga that like not gain weight, the nigga that lost weight, lifted weights or some shit doing with some weight. So he big as hell, man. Man, that nigga got muscles and shit, man. So he ain't bullshit this time.
I like red balls, my type, light skin, next black, hello.
DFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic. DFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic. DFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic. DFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic.
That's good, fantastic.
I like red balls, my type, light skin, next black, hello.
DFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic. DFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic. DFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic. DFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic.
That's good, fantastic.
Yo, what up? What up? What up? What up? Y'all know the deal, man. Like and share, like and share, like and share. So we get this thing out everywhere. Is anywhere you were, you could be chosen right here with me, the BABGOG. I appreciate y'all pulling up on me, man. What's going on, bro? What's going on? Yeah, man. Your boy's back. Let's see. There we go. That should be a lot better. And let's see. Like a little off center. That should be better. There we go. Cool. Great. Yeah. What's going on, man? Y'all know the deal, man. What's going on? As you know, your boy did a thing last night. Let's just address that real quick. Hey, I told y'all I was gonna do it, right? Have I ever lied to y'all? We discussed this, okay? So it should be no surprise. You know what I mean? It's really no big deal. You know what I mean, it is what it is. I am who I said I am. I guess it's a little bit of chatter, which, bro, everything I said on there last night, I say on here for what the past 2 years. So if you watch me, there's nothing new that got put out. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But yeah, let's get into it, man. 10-4 Tuesdays, man. Appreciate y'all pulling on. You know what we here for, man. Listen, bro. So where should we start, y'all? Where should we start? Where should we start? We're gonna start with the AI babies. Now, I keep telling y'all, man. And this morning I got up on Twitter and everybody's got a fucking AI generated baby. Usually, like say, it's just something a younger version of themselves, or maybe amalgamation of them and somebody else or whatever. But pretty much just a what was that thing they had, y'all? What was the little thing they had when we was kids? They came out to where like it was like a little pocket thing. You took care of it. It was like a pocket pet. Y'all remember the name of those things? Tell me on the chat if y'all remember the name of like the little pocket pet things that you had, whether you had to feed it and you walk it and you do all this other stuff. If you didn't do it, it would die. Right? Tamagotchi. Appreciate you. Yeah, Kid Cloud. Shout out to Kia. Yeah, man. Kid Cloud's Tamagotchi, right? So the whole Tamagotchi thing was pretty much the beta version of what we're seeing here. Again, man, all this stuff is long thought out, bro. I know it seems weird. I know it seems far fetched. I know it seems crazy. There's no way you can link something back from 30 years ago to 30 years later, or 40 years ago to 40 years later, 100 years ago, 100 years later. What if I told you it goes back to even like 200 years ago? Okay, or even further if you really want to get into it. The thing is, again, to get us more used to, comfortable with, and akin to, and accustomed to being in a digital virtual world, right? We're human beings, right? I know you niggas don't got no hearts. I know you niggas don't love nobody. I know you niggas just, wake up motherfucking drilling, killing, and spilling, from early. You banging on breakfast, nigga? You banging on breakfast? I know you niggas is banging on breakfast, but for the regular human beings out here, you actually have a psychological attachment to certain things. Okay. That's why some of you niggas, I killed on my dog. You do something to my dog, nigga. I'm you niggas ready to send somebody to Uncle Charles over that dog, boy. What, nigga? Y'all niggas with John Wick before John Wick. Oh yeah, cynical. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. 200 is nothing. That's nothing. Ain't nothing, baby. Ain't nothing. Um. So you're going to see more and more, like I told you guys, and this is wildly theory that I always go back and I reference to. More and more things are going to be available in the virtual world, in virtual reality, the metaverse, or whatever it may be, and so on and so forth. And they're going to tie this into your actual senses. The Apple Vision that's coming up here, the next level of virtual reality, and that's before we get to the Neuralink that's been approved for human testing. Remember, bro, we hadn't even remember we did this a month ago, y'all, about Neuralink being approved for human testing, but yet still we haven't heard the first thing about it. Oh, well, it's too early, bro. Do y'all really think? Come on now. As fast as this stuff is moving, and as quick as technology is fucking advancing, and as fast as this fucking AI is learning, you mean to tell me that you think it's how long you think it's going to take for Neuralink to be fully integrated? And are they going to tell us how many people pass away from it, or have serious side effects of it, or hell, become a slave to the actual data versus controlling the data itself? They gonna tell you that? Of course not, right? Too much money on the line, and more importantly than the money on the line is the control that you're gonna have over the people. Again, man, shout out to the hate God niggas, but they told you, man, you'll have the mark in your hand or in your forehead, right? All right, mark in your hand and your forehead, and the AI babies, AI family. You guys know what that's been akin to lately. A certain Marvel TV show, right? Actually, just not the TV show, but the TV show was from the comics, and even now you put that in the modern time frame. Look at that storyline and what we have here, right? You guys, somebody put it in the chat if you know what I'm referencing as far as the Marvel series or the Marvel characters that were involved. 3 years, I give it 2, man. I give it 2. Stop it, bro. Hey, Georgia in the motherfucking building, man. Don't play with it. You know what I mean? When the last time Yankees won a World Series? Come on now. A year removed, baby. Shout out to Kid Cloud, man. Kid Cloud's got all the answers today, man. WandaVision, exactly. So WandaVision, Wanda Maximoff, for the Scarlet Witch. What she did was she was so shocked by or hurt by the children that she created in her own universe. That's how we got the whole thing with Universe of Madness with Doctor Strange. She created her own reality and her whole family with who? With a android. For you guys that don't know, Vision is an android. Vision is not a human. Vision is a humanoid robot and AI comprised of the Infinity Stone and of course, made from I think Jarvis and parts of Ultron or something like that, if I remember right. Right, like a combination of that. So everything is pushing you into this. Hey, man, you can stay on the computer a little bit longer. Hey, man, why don't you create that profile and create that girl that you like, the perfect woman for you? Hey, man, you don't want to go out here and deal with these women and so on and so forth and get put on child support. So just create your own little baby, right? Create your little kid, man. Something. It'll just be here whenever you're ready. And what's that going to do? That's going to encourage you to spend more and more time online. It's going to encourage you to get more and more away from reality, and further again, get the claws deeper, deeper, deeper into society, into the people. Got to be careful, man. Gotta be careful out here. I know it's crazy. I know it sounds far fetched, but again, man, we haven't been wrong yet. All right, we have not been wrong yet, man. I'm seeing, and I don't want to go through because it's people's pages and stuff or whatever. I'm seeing it on Twitter, but everybody's doing the whole, AI baby thing. They like, it started with Elon Musk like a month ago or so, so on and so forth, and now, more people are hopping into it and showing off their AI babies and oh he's so cute and oh he's so this and that and again attention, right? Attention, man. Yeah, shout out to Jacob RCA. Yep. Shout out to Grown Man Businessman. They're making her a villain in the new X-Men series, but she's supposed to be because she takes away all the mutant powers of the what's the name, No More Mutants. That's a storyline, so that would make sense. Yeah, yeah, bro. Yeah, you getting it, brother. Puts on the Black Ooze, Venom. So let's we here. So let's just go there. So again, man, you start talking about a lot of these superheroes and comic book characters, so on and so forth, are linked to occult members or deities and stuff from Egyptian, Greek, Roman, all these different mythologies and whatnot, what have you. And they represent, of course, that spirit. So you talk about Venom. Venom is the black ooze that possesses the good of Spider-Man, and somehow Spider-Man rejects it, but it becomes his own and finds somebody else that is somebody else that's the antithesis of him, and now Venom is the anti-hero. That's another thing that we've seen here. What, like you said, in the last 10 years or so, the anti-hero, the guy is not really a good guy, but his badness justifies the means since he's going against the bad guy. So he's not a good guy, but he's doing bad things to bad guys. So he's somewhere in the middle. You know, he's somewhere in the middle. So yeah, you start talking about Venom, man, and then like Venom, and then Carnage, and then it's a whole that leads to like spirits and demons because there's a Venom is like the father of several different versions of the symbiote. Carnage, or Scream, Riot, all these different ones, and so on and so forth. They all became offspring of Venom, right? And then went on to possess their own different people, and so on and so forth. And they match up with the person that best suits their personality or whatnot. And Carnage is like the worst of the worst because Carnage is just all about killing and bloodlust and whatnot, what have you. So yeah, Noel is on what I think they did a thing with that where what Noel fought Hulk, right? I think Noel and Hulk had it out, and that's a whole nother thing. But pretty much, yeah, like you get to the home of the symbiote or whatever. And I think recently it just actually killed Eddie Brock off. Um because at the end of the day, like any other thing that possesses you, that shit is not healthy. So and it's as much as they say it's a symbiote, it's a parasite. So the symbiote is sucking off the life force of the host, right? As any parasite would do. But sooner or later it's gonna be nothing left. So yeah. Batman turned from hero to villain in Dark Knight. Yeah, they made it the Joker, the good guy. Exactly. Hey, shout out to 77 Radio, 777 Radio. That right there again. Listen, man, if you go back and now we it's here. So good. Let's do it. So hit the like button, man. Hit the like button. Do me a favor, hit the like button, please and thank you. So one of the most and again, man, listen, acting in itself is at times, especially talking about these method actors and these things and so on and so forth, that put on these great performances. Remember we covered it. I think what 2 Tuesdays ago when was it Damon Idris, or Damson Idris, the guy that played on Snowfall, that was bodies, 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 bodies. Talked about how he was crazy enough to fucking ask the devil for help. You know what I'm saying? Telling the devil to come into him, and he got what he fucking asked for. And then his ass, said he was freaked out for a couple of months because he pretty much admitted to being possessed by something. These acting in itself, man, is you taking on the form or taking on it, impersonating or becoming a whole nother person. Okay. So the whole acting thing within itself. But one of note, and it's crazy. Well, it's not really crazy when you think about it. How Heath Ledger died soon thereafter, that being clearly his most iconic role and probably one of the best roles you've ever seen of any character played in a movie, especially action movie, right? I think what Heath Ledger was, known for that because he was in the Hey movie, right? He was in the movie with and it's crazy how people forget about stuff because Heath Ledger was in the two white boy cowboy movie, right? Bloody and Money Don't Miss, like two dicks with no bitch find yourself in serious shit. He was in that movie, right? Yeah, yeah, Kid Clouds, that one. Yeah, he was in that movie, right? Him and the kid from Donnie Darko. I can't think of his name. But yeah, man. Um, once you start getting into that realm, bro, and you start seeing these people that are literally playing these characters to where you can't, um, differentiate them from the real person, or they're playing it such well that you believe that this person is a fictional character. Mind you, the Joker is not even a real person, but Heath Ledger did such a great job that, like, it was like that's of note. That's probably the best um role I've heard anybody talk about within the last, I say, like, shit, probably what 20 years at this point. Jake Gyllenhaal, yeah, appreciate you, bro. Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal. Again, Jake Gyllenhaal too. Like Jake Gyllenhaal is linked to a lot of those movies. Jake Gyllenhaal, Donnie Darko itself, cult classic. The symbolism and the stuff in that movie, man. Put a one in the chat if you've seen Donnie Darko. That movie is a crazy ass movie, y'all. Jarhead was one too, but I'm trying to think of another one. What was the other one that Jake Gyllenhaal? Jake Gyllenhaal was also in Fight Club, right? Fight Club. Jake Gyllenhaal was in Fight Club too, correct? Or was that because I know it's Brad Pitt and Jake Gyllenhaal, correct? 7 7, you're 7, you out of here, man. Yeah, wow, super wild movie. Yeah. He wasn't in Fight Club. Who was the guy opposed to Brad Pitt in Fight Club? Ed Norton. Oh yeah, Ed Norton. Ed Norton is another one. But it was another. It's not Jarhead. Jake Gyllenhaal had another big role he played in. Man, I'm trying to remember what it was. I'm mixing him up. So I'm mixing up. I know him and Ed Norton are nothing alike, but Jake Gyllenhaal and the guy that plays the Beast in uh the movie with Samuel L. Jackson and what's his name? Those guys, I get them mixed up. Shout out to Brandon Green. Nightcrawler. That was another one too. That was real weird. Nightcrawler was super weird. Yeah, Split, but not. I know that's not Jake Gyllenhaal. That's the other guy I'm talking about. Nightcrawler was a super weird movie too. The crazy thing about movies is you have to shout out to Brandon Green for the building for. I greatly appreciate your brother always coming through, man. End of watch. That was a good ass movie. Now that one didn't get a lot of play as it should have because I think it was an urban movie. That was a good ass movie. That's still not one. He played another role to where it was super duper like esoteric shit, man. I can't remember what it was. Ed Norton did another big one too, though. Ed Norton had a couple of them, man. Not only did Ed Norton. People forget Ed Norton was the second major Marvel film, modern Marvel film guy because he was the Hulk before they turned it over to the newest guy. But either way, right? Nah, he wasn't in Zodiac. I don't think. Just the movies aspect of it is another method of mind control, predictive programming, a whole lot of things, man, to get you in. That's why you got to be careful, bro. Listen, music and like I said, your eyes are the portal to your soul. That's real shit. You got to be careful what you listen to and what you watch, man. Okay, you really got to be careful out here, bro. Really, really got to be careful. Some of this shit, man, like that's why I'm not telling you go out here and become a scholar of it, but a lot of these symbols, a lot of these things that you don't know about and you keep seeing them, hey, all of these checkerboard patterns are not coincidence, okay? All these, these columns, these pillars are not coincidence, okay? All right. All that shit has motherfucking meaning, bro. Much deeper meaning to, the those in the know, so to speak, right? People just watching, you just watching for entertainment, not knowing that, what I'm saying, you may be part of a fucking ritual or something. Shout out to Brandon Green, Zodiac Killer. I don't know. I just fucking made you Brainiac, brother. My bad. Combining Brandon and Zodiac. I don't know about that one. I don't remember that one. But either way, yeah, man, you definitely do. Be careful. Yeah, gotta be careful out here, man. Yeah, of course. Oh, 7-7 red. I got yeah, bro. Hey, I gotta pull up on you, man. Drop your link in the chat, brother. If you got I got definitely gotta check you out if you going over stuff like that. Hey, man, and if you wanna hop on one day, man, and talk about stuff, let me know, brother. Because if you talking about this, we know you know. Well, we here, so shit, fuck it. We do it. It's 10-4 Tuesday. So another big one, right? So Disney movies. There's a reason why all the parents die in the Disney movies. Okay. There's a reason why it's always a rebellious thing in the Disney movies. And then Disney has now become what Pixar and what's the other one, y'all? I always get the other name. Pixar and because Disney is Pixar, right? Disney's Pixar, I'm pretty sure. Disney is Pixar, correct? And then they might have just bought the other one. But it's Pixar and what was the other big one? But DreamWorks, yeah, those two. So Disney has been, bro, I don't know, exposed. I don't know how many times. Especially like when you go back and you read a lot of these stories that they turn into, nice, kind little things. I forget who did it, but someone just recently did the true original story of Peter Pan, right? And Peter Pan, man, was just gruesome. Peter Pan was actually the bad guy. Peter Pan was not the good guy. Peter Pan was actually the bad guy, right? But they turn it around to where you monetize his characters, so on and so forth, and you pretty much transform these stories that were either like whatever cultural folklore, you know what I'm saying, and a warning sign for certain shit, and so on and so forth, and they glorify it because what Peter Pan, like never be an adult, never grow up, right? Go to Never Never Land and you get to eat all the cookies and cakes and pies and you have no responsibilities and you get to go away from your parents and you get to fly, right? Yep. Mermaids, like I said, mermaids in themselves, man, mermaids were evil. Mermaids would pretty much what they term mermaids from was sirens. Mermaids and sirens were pretty much one and the same. And what they do is, you see your mermaid was so beautiful or whatnot, what have you, and they sing such a sweet song, and they lull the sailors pretty much to their death. You know, they see these beautiful women, for with with of course woman's bust, beautiful face, long hair, all these different things, so on and so forth, and have these angelic voices. And lo and behold, like you said, man, the men would jump in the water, and then the sirens slash mermaids would, drown them and steal their essence. See, hey man, they know what's going on here. Hansel and Gretel, that's another one, man. Hansel and Gretel, that one is Hansel and Gretel is just really gruesome, man. If you I read that real true story, that's probably one of the ones that was extremely gruesome. But Snow White, and the Seven Dwarfs, the biggest one was probably the Cinderella. This constant thing of where Prince Charming and the damsel in distress. Cinderella, of course, she had the evil stepmother, and she was an orphan and all these different things, and she could only be rescued by, some fucking some mice and some fucking pumpkins and all this other shit and so on and so forth. People died in them original stories, man. But Disney turned around. Yeah, Brothers Grimm, what's the name, man? Yeah, all these they turned around all these stories, man, and they made them into kid fantasies and kid entertainment. Um, if you look around and like I said, man, it's stuff on. Just look when we get done with this, man. Do y'all homework. This is y'all homework, man. Go to hidden Disney messages on YouTube, bro. The shit you will see, man, like all of the phallic symbols. Like I think it was Little Mermaid, the original Little Mermaid. They had a thing of where one of the guys during the wedding had like they drew an animated erection into this man. You know that drawing motherfucking. That boy was on them blue pills before them blue pills, man. All of them was in the streets, man. Dr. Leia, Africa, European mythology. The video has a breakdown. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, D, or sir, ma'am, whoever you are. I don't know. Just D. Appreciate you. Hey, nigga, that was more than a tub, nigga. That nigga was on, nigga. He was ready to fuck some, nigga. He was about to bust through them pants. Oh yes, that's another one too. So the little person that actually hung themselves on on the scene, man. And then you start talking about, like say, the Wizard of Oz, not Disney, but this movie stuff. The whole cast of fucking Poltergeist, and when they come to find out that they were actually filming on, I believe it was some type of Indian reservation, like graveyard or whatever, and like almost all the people that was involved in that movie died, man. Y'all can believe this shit fake if you want to. I mean, again, shout out to Hey God niggas. Ain't no God, ain't no nothing. I just eat, sleep, wake up, shit, and go on about my day every day on my own will. All right, brother. All right, sister. Go right ahead. It's my first time hearing that one, brother. we bringing the pro black into it, brother. I guess the Oompa Loompas from Willy Wonka were black slaves from Africa. Little orange men. I don't know about that one, brother.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
I can't argue. I can't say he's lying because I never heard of him. But hey, okay. I can't. I cannot say I heard that one before, so I can't even dispute it, man. Oh, you said Charlie. That one in itself too. Well, the big one for that one is Snowpiercer, and eventually, man, we'll get around to. I guess we'll do something else on the thing or whatever. But Snowpiercer is like the elevation or the next level of Willy Wonka. Yeah, yeah. Oh, let's see. No, they didn't take it out. You got hold on, let me mod you up. There you go. Stand there. There you go. All right, 7-7 radio. You should be good now, bro. Go ahead. They didn't take your show. You just wasn't no mod, bro. So you had to what's name? You said Nightmare on Elm Street was based on a true story. I know about that one. Well, Nightmare on Elm Street was based on you talking about the guy killing the kids. Of course, not the Freddy Krueger part, but hey, yeah, man, y'all help my boy out, man. Sub to him, bro. Sub the brother out, man. Sub him up. You know, another conspiracy, Tinfoil Tuesday. It's but we got hung up there for a minute, my man. Let's get to it, bro. Let's see where we at. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, and I'm going to go see this movie. I'm purposely going to pay my money and go watch this movie. If I have to do it by myself, I will. I don't think I want to. I don't think I want my son to see this because it's a little, it's real shit, right? But this movie, man, The Sound of Freedom, based on true events of what they're saying, of stings and stuff being set up to stop human trafficking, most importantly, child trafficking. The root of the elite and the Ephesians 6:12, power in high places, even the wickedness. Bro, children. That's literally the life's blood. When I say the life's blood, I mean that literally, because what's the name of them? That's what it was. That's what it. No, was that? That was. That's what it was. Was that? Was he in that? The movie I'm talking about, where I'm pretty sure that was Jake Gyllenhaal. No, that wasn't Jake Gyllenhaal. Who was that? That was Hugh Jackman. What was the movie with Hugh Jackman where they stole his daughter? And it was the slow kid. I think it was Hugh Jackman and actually it was Iron Man, Terrence Howard. I think Terrence Howard was in that too, if I remember right. That movie right there. Every now and again, man, they'll have a movie that tells you and really goes through how this shit gets down. Some of these horror movies here lately have really gotten into it. The Conjuring and The Conjuring is a real big one too, because The Conjuring is actually based on true stories. I know I saw the last one when they said the devil made me do it. I think that was the last one, right, bro? This is documented shit. Okay, Prisoners. That's the name of it. But that the line that lady said, man, in that movie, man. Let me see. See if I can find it. Yeah, here you go. I'm gonna show y'all right here, bro. This is real shit. Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. Hopefully, it don't knock the shit, but fair use. By the way, commentary of this movie scene.
Making children disappear is the war we wage with God.
We all able to hear that? Put a one in the chat if you was able to hear that. That's all. That's all I really need you to hear. Making children disappear is the war we wage with God. Okay. This shit is no joke, people. Okay. This shit is real shit. And this is why you're getting everybody coming out and having negative things to say about a movie there's nothing negative to say about. How and why would you want to what can negative be said about, the encouragement or the triumph story of saving children from child trafficking rings. Okay, if these children aren't being, um, SA'd, right? They aren't being SA'd, they're being harvested for organs. The most crimes on the planet, man, are perpetrated against innocent children. Okay. Yes, Geechee Dan, they did. Why do you think that? Again, man, mainstream media is not your friend. I'm gonna tell you again, dog. If you're still watching TV, I don't know why you are. Mainstream television, I was able to come into the understanding of what I have now and to actually be able to believe the unbelievable once I turned off the television, bro. You watch that television, bro, when you're bombarded with this propaganda, this advertisement, buy this, you need this, you gotta have that, all these different things, and so on and so forth, la la la. And you're just constantly inundating. Your mind is constantly being over here, over there, over there, over here, and so on and so forth. You have visuals, you have audio, you have so many things that are attacking your senses, man. You have no idea. Like, and no matter how strong you think you are, bro, you're not prepared. There are people that they purposely tune this stuff, bro. I think it's like what, so many beats per minute, and you have actually radio frequencies that they produce the sound in. Okay, that they know will get certain attention from you. Okay, so having that understanding, bro. Oh no, link. That's what I said. That yeah, SA. And that's what I'm coming. And after the SA, if they can't use them for that, or they refuse to be used for that anymore, bro, they harvest their organs, organ harvesting. And that's a big part of the ritual sacrifice. The whole, Pizzagate was fake, right? Pizzagate was fake, but somehow this person that was constantly a mover and a shaker in a big city of fucking Washington D.C., that all he did was own a fucking, a pizza place for kids and show these crazy, you know coded pictures of infants and young, super young kids, like toddlers. Like, what are we talking about here? Make jokes about dungeons and shit. This shit is really real, man. And again, I can't go in like I want to, but Chronicles of Judy was right. The root of the rainbow is pederasty. Okay, the root of the rainbow is pederasty, and there's actually a viral thing going around right now of a professor being challenged and him breaking down how all of the main characters of the alternative lifestyle movement were you know, pro grown people dealing with fucking kids. Think that's a coincidence? Again, man, the reason why they had to remove this stuff from the DSM manuals is because the DSM manuals were given the truth and the foundation that not all, but a major part of the people that participated, both male and female, in those lifestyles were pretty much sufferers, and they were victims of some type of childhood inappropriate, activity with adults. Okay, that's not me, man. That's and then history. But lo and behold, man, let's get into this film and pretty much how they're saying now, right? So what a difference a decade makes, or almost a decade makes, because crazy part is this is back in 2014, and this was the wonderful story they had to show about it.
Last weekend, police broke up a major sex trafficking ring in Colombia.
You know what, we're gonna find this on
which has become a destination for tourists looking for sex with boys and girls.
Yeah, we got. Hold on. Let me see something quick. See if I can find this on YouTube because. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Yo, let me do that. It's a lot better on YouTube. Fair use, fair use.
Police broke up a major sex trafficking ring in Colombia, which has become a destination for tourists looking for sex with boys and girls. The police had help from an American who went undercover to rescue the children. And Elaine Quijano met him.
Tim Ballard has one mission: to track down child traffickers. 4 months ago, Colombian authorities asked him to investigate a tip that children were being sold there as sex slaves.
Within a half hour, this individual walks up to me, starts asking me what I'm here for, what I want, and within minutes, he says, well, I've got kids as young as 11 years old.
Ballard, a former Homeland Security agent, now heads up Operation Underground Railroad, a nonprofit group that rescues trafficked kids. After that first meeting, the Colombians asked him to put together a sting.
No men will be in here, only women.
Operation Underground Railroad spent months planning, renting this house, rigging it with hidden cameras to document the crime, coordinating with Colombian authorities, and negotiating with the traffickers.
Now, understand, this is international, right? It's an international thing, right? They're pretty much what these, just like these drug busts and these things or whatever, man. Bro, the amount of kids that are abused and trafficked and smuggled and whatnot, what have you, man, it's just astronomical. It's unbelievable. 80 kids to the thing is like, bro, not even a drop in the pan. It's not even an atom of the worldwide just activity going on. But what these countries have to do, to make it look like they're actually a part of good faith, because remember, man, Epstein was able to get what he was able to get. Epstein was worldwide, dog. Worldwide. Biggest movers and shakers. Okay? The biggest. No Rick Ross. Bill Gates been there how many times? All the billionaires, all the millionaires, all the movers and shakers. Presidents, dukes and earls, and why do we still not have that list? Why do you still not have the manifest for Epstein Island? Why? Yeah, that shit too. Why you think all of these fucking childhood stars lose their fucking mind? Britney Spears, bro. It's amazing she made it to 40, but this chick here, every other couple years now, she's doing something crazy. Hell, Amanda Bynes just almost had a fucking overdose, if I remember right, not too long ago.
Find these kids, they lure them in by pretending to have a modeling agency. They target them at 9 or 10 years old. And they were telling us that about by 11, they're ready for sex. They're ready to be sold.
What is that like, looking into that kind of person's eyes?
It's horrifying, and this is why. Because I've got a smile in the face of evil. This is the table where we're going to do the negotiation.
Less than 24 hours after the operatives landed, the suspected traffickers arrived on the island, and the final deal with the undercover team began. 54 boys and girls aged 11 to 18 were ushered in for what had been billed as a sex party. They were given candy and drinks and told to wait in this small room.
This little 11-year-old boy, I remember, he asked one of my operatives if they could give him some cocaine or something. That he said, usually give me something because I'm really scared.
By the time the
Bro, and listen, bro, it's nothing. Like it's nothing. You know what type of fucking savage, just fucking absolute monster you have to be for this shit? In their country, man, there's no fucking code that like they have here to where it's not safe for, people that touch on kids. The dude that Nasser, the gymnast guy, he just got juked up, man. the gym coach, or was he a coach or was he a physician? I forget. He was a physician, right? I think he was a physician for the Olympic team, right? That guy. Hey man, but he had to do the Murder Man dance.
Real more shit, man. That's why more bodies, man.
Yeah, man. TLP, there you go. That's a link to it right there.
Deal was done. The alleged traffickers were set to make $25,000. That transaction was never completed. 25 Colombian special operatives stormed the party, arresting 5 suspects, 4 men and 1 former beauty queen. All charged.
The women are always the key part. Okay, just like you had Ghislaine Maxwell, right? The women are always a key part and always major players in these operations, man. You have to have the nurturer. You have to have that motherly figure or whatnot, what have you. The good cop, bad cop, right? And sometimes the good cop becomes even the worst cop. Before they were saying about Ghislaine Maxwell. Scary world we live in, man. Okay? Extremely scary. You have to ask yourself, why would the mainstream media, why would CNN and, what MSNBC and all these fucking other major media platforms have an issue and problem with this movie that's promoting the rescue of trafficked children? Why?
Charged with child trafficking. The victims, 29 of whom are under 18, were evacuated, given medical exams, and placed in a rehabilitation center where specialists are working to undo the damage.
Right before I got in the boat, we had to walk by this room where the kids were, and they put their hand up. And I touched their hand and see that there's liberation now.
Liberating one child at a time. Elaine Quijano, CBS News, New York.
Yeah, man. And, it's a slow process, right? And I can just imagine how heartbreaking that shit is, heart wrenching it is. Like I said, man, if you guys you want to get a taste of that or a feel for that, man, find you a local social worker or just any social worker, man, and just hear the stories and stuff they tell you about. It was a crazy story here about a young girl. She was some type of Hispanic, like El Salvadorian or something like that, or so on and so forth. And that's what was going on. They were abusing this girl, man, and to the point of where the neighbors either heard or saw something. I forget what it was, but when the police showed up, right, they found the girl back there in the room, and it was a fucking piece of shit motherfucker, grown man in there, butt ass naked, man, hiding in the closet. Okay, just done. I was like, bro, there's any time, bro. I that's why I could never do anything like that. I would lose my job day one. I would. And I know, police aren't perfect, right? Police aren't perfect. Or whatever. But, definitely like in situations like that, man, people don't take into consideration the stuff that they have to deal with on the mental, how mentally tough you have to be. But not just seeing death, man, but stuff like that and not being able to react, bro. I'm telling you, dog, I'm that's gonna be the roughest arrest I ever have in my life. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, everybody has their calling. But speaking of the child trafficking, and like you said, once you're done with that, and they're no longer there from a physical standpoint, or even a part of that, um, that good old adrenochrome, right? Something that they said was not real, and it's just conspiracy theorist theory. Well, let's hear it from this guy right here. This guy's no conspiracy theorist. This guy's no conspiracy theorist at all. Let me see if I can do this. So let me slow this down. So adrenochrome is what let's say these people that live to be 90 years old and 100 years old, and you're like, damn, man, this motherfucker walk around like the crypt keeper. Ain't no damn way this motherfucker's still alive, man. When his fingers just fell off, the motherfucker just, he just grabbed the door handle and the finger fell off, man. What the fuck? How is this motherfucker alive? What's going on here? Well, again, man, when you the most miraculous thing ever built in history of all existence is the human body. The human body is the framework for most of your simple and complex machines that we use to make everything easier. Your body has hydraulics in it. It has electric system in it. Is well, of course, air system and a pneumatic system. Air is pneumatic, hydraulic. Of course, you have your fulcrums, your pulleys, your levers, all these different things, right? Simple and complex machines. Your body is the perfect example of it, right? Just the fact of the matter that something you can work to do something involuntarily, right? Breathing, heartbeat, and all these different things, and so on and so forth. Reactions to certain things, what sensation, feeling, right? The senses, just the body in itself is like the perfect um perfection in just creation, right? um so when you start breaking down blood, right, plasma, white blood cells, all these different things, so on and so forth, and you combine blood and the stuff that's in blood, certain hormones and certain things and whatnot, what have you, um fight or flight, right? So we know once you get afraid, or once you get too excited, your body's going to produce more adrenaline, to help you, put you in a better state for survival, or for if not survival, for activity. So what they do is with these children, man, is they scare them, whether it be actual physical, whatever, or mental abuse and manipulation and different things, and they literally have them hooked up to an IV or something, so on and so forth, bro, and they take the blood from them and they use it for drinking. Okay, there are actual clubs out here and groups of people that tell you they consume and they drink blood, bro. It's the reason why it's different from a kid. I have no idea. We'll see if he can explain it a little better.
Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai. What I'm going to share with you today is a architecture for looking at adrenochrome. You're going to get from an MIT PhD in biological engineering. I'm going to arm you now with some chemistry. So listen very carefully. Adrenochrome. What is it? So adrenochrome is a stable oxidation product of adrenaline. That's what an in vitro study showed. The chemical structure, you notice, is very different. Adrenaline looked like this. It had this benzene ring with the OH. Adrenochrome looks like this. You notice this benzene ring is folded on itself and you get this. Now, this is what I want everyone to focus on. You may want to take notes. You're welcome to take a screenshot of this. So the question I started asking is, could I understand this in the context of the observations people have been reporting? That they're taking a child, frightening it, which means adrenaline, and then putting it under such stress that it creates adrenochrome. Because as I understand, and the people who know more about this than I do, is that the adrenochrome is being created by taking these kids, scaring them, fight or flight, and then torturing them. And that puts the body into a state that they create adrenochrome. So I wanted to actually explain this. And I believe I have probably the first explanation of how this is going on at the molecular systems level. You won't get this, by the way, from Joe Kennedy or Robbie Kennedy or Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton may actually know about this. What's going on here? Adrenaline. When we did our systems analysis of the research, adrenaline is released in response to a stressful, exciting, dangerous, or threatening situation. So here is a bobcat chasing that mouse. It hasn't caught him yet, but it's chasing it. This is when that mouse, let's say, I don't know what they're potentially doing to these kids. If they're scaring those kids and chasing them around, scaring the hell out of them, it's like the bobcat chasing the mice.
And allegedly, there are some situations where they actually play Hunger Game like games with these children, as to where they'll put them in a situation or something, as to where they have to escape, and pretty much tell them that they're caught, they'll be extinguished or whatnot, what have you. So you have this child that's in this extreme level of stress as a kid, man. And that's why I just say, man, these people, bro, if and when they're found, bro, should be publicly dealt with. I'll just say that. It's found out that a person like this is operating and so on and so forth. And the reason why they want to keep that's one thing that all people will come together for. There won't be enough money. There won't be enough power. There won't be enough anything, people behind the curtain or cloak, for people to not react to finding out with beyond the shadow of a doubt that a person of power or a person of whatever is abusing children to this, demonic and satanic level. Yeah.
And this starts producing adrenaline. It's increased synthesis of adrenaline. And there's enough paper saying adrenaline responds to stress. So we know under that kind of stress, adrenaline is created. Now, what I found fascinating is I did research since people wrote to me.
Shout out to Reggie. So again, yeah, the Monsters Inc., right? I think that was DreamWorks. Sully and I forget, like the one eye guy or whatever. They ran this whole world off of the fear of children, right? And the quote unquote the perfect scare or whatever were so powerful and so strong that it was able to create a portal back to a place they thought they had lost due to the fear of the child. again, man, we talk about this all the time, right? They tell you how children and like animals have like a seventh sense of sort. Like people have a sixth sense, but either kids or animals have like a sixth sense plus or a seventh sense as to where they can actually feel the intentions and the aura of another person. A lot stronger than regular people do. That's why they tell you, man. If a kid is uneasy around a person, man, um, don't force your kid on anyone, and most importantly, be extremely weary of that person. Okay, be extremely weary of that person. All right, a young child just does not, goes, they cannot, get along with that person, so on and so forth. Yeah, man, you need to be very careful and wary of that person.
Is that oxidative stress, which is different than this kind of stress, is highly correlated with anxiety. Anxiety causes accumulation of reactive oxygen species such as O2 minus. So this was one paper that came out, which says oxidative stress and anxiety. This was a role of oxidative stress and anxiety disorder. So let me tell you what this is like. To put it simply, you need stress and anxiety to create adrenochrome. If you're going to do this to an animal, be it a child or lab rat, you have to put it under extreme stress and anxiety. And that's what we're talking about. With just stress, you don't get it. You got to have both. So this is what I would call extreme torture. Because if you just have stress, you're not going to get adrenochrome. You have to have the stress and the anxiety. Everyone getting this? Everyone clear on this? So this is the example I like you to do. The lion is chasing the zebra. That's probably when adrenaline is being released. It hasn't got him yet. It's chasing him. But what about when this incident is occurring? This is when you're torturing the animal. You got it. This is the anxiety. So this will release adrenaline. In my theory, this releases a superoxide, which is the reactive oxygen species.
And that's not a hard concept to understand. Shout out to everybody that's ever heard of like hunting, right? They tell you when you go hunting any animal, whether it be deer or but especially they say it with pigs, right? And stuff like this, stuff that's to be domesticated. They always say you don't let them see the knife, or you don't let them see it coming, or it ruins the meat. So whenever something oxidizes, right? Oxidation is pretty much um, from a metal standpoint, rust. When something starts to oxidize, it's pretty much where it has so much oxygen in it to where it's breaking it down to like either it's like oxidation breaks metal down back to its natural form, and you get rust and so on and so forth, whatever. I don't know what the molecular breakdown of that would be, but it does something to you as to where I would imagine it probably makes your muscles extremely rigid, and not as soft or whatever. But it's a reason why they tell you that, like, you know what I'm saying? That's why whenever they have a kill, they want to bleed it out as soon as possible, because if you let that blood sit in there with all that extra adrenaline, it they say it ruins the meat, and you can actually like taste it or whatever. Yeah. So it's that concept.
Species. So you need this and this. You need this and this. If you're just chasing it around, you get adrenaline. So if we want to put it in perspective, you need the stress and the anxiety to get this. So you need both of this taking place. They're probably torturing whoever they're doing this to. This is sort of torture. Now, at least in the animal world, they probably do this quickly and get it over with. But if you assume you torture it more, you're going to get more of this species, more of this, more adrenochrome. So prolonged torture, more stress, more anxiety is going to get you this. So what I want to share with you, everyone, is I think I have a basis for understanding adrenochrome synthesis. And it falls in line with people have been saying they're torturing these kids. This is the big takeaway that you can say that Dr. Shiva just offered you. An explanation for this. An explanation so people don't think you're crazy when you say, well, the torture releases adrenochrome. So I think I have a basis for this. And I hope this was helpful. And this is the kind of stuff that I will continue to do for you, to take a systems approach to take an attempt at explaining things. This is beyond left or right now. This is molecular systems biology. It's biochemistry. I think we have discovered a
And it's all but done anyway, man. So I'll break that down. Yeah. See, so like the concept's not that fucking, it's not that thing, man. It's not that complex or that hard to understand. But people will want to, discredit you and make it seem like you're just crazy and loopy by doing that. What's the next one? Where's it at? Staying in line with that. Now I don't know if you guys remember this, right? We talked about this when it happened too. This is back in 2020. And this is how powerful that these people are at the top, man. I don't know if you guys remember this story, but remember the judge, she was assigned to the Jeffrey Epstein case, and remember they knocked on her door and they killed her husband and her son. You guys remember that? Put one in the chat if you remember that story. This is how we knew when everybody was calling it, Jeffrey Epstein's going to commit suicide. Bro, once you start dealing with people on this level, dog, okay, world powerful people, bruh, this is why the people that are going to fight this man have to be, faceless, nameless. That you really have to be on some loner shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't have a family, you can't have loved ones. You have to have people that are, what I'm saying, just downright, by themselves and able to where the only person that they can hurt is them. But you can't hurt them because these motherfuckers are trained bad motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Yeah, man. I think both of them died. They killed her. I know they killed her husband. I think the son ended up dying too. 4 days before her son was gunned down, her husband was wounded. Oh no, so they killed the son and shot the husband. New Jersey federal judge Esther Salas was assigned to handle the class action lawsuit from Deutsche Bank. Investors who claimed the company failed to monitor high risk customers, including late pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Again, they talked about this, and remember, I don't know if you guys remember. There was I want to say not Bahamian. What country was it, y'all, where the lady was fired? The lady was actually going to bring the suit against them, and they fired her. They got her up out of there from office. Oh yeah, she got the power, man. You can't. Well, again, you kill the judge, they have to really look into it. But you kill the husband or the family member of a judge, hey, you know, there's rules and levels to that shit too. But yeah, man, just anything that's got to do anything with Jeffrey Epstein, man, bro. We're never gonna get to the bottom of that. But I mean, we might. And this is why I say all the time you can't say. I really don't know, and I really can't say who or what Trump is. Is Trump this really fucking on his own guy, radical, going up against the system? Is they do exist, right? You know what I'm saying? The thing about it though, when you have those people, bro, they get you up out of there. I don't know if we're in that society though, where we're moved past that, because um it's much better, I guess, to leave someone alive and make them suffer and make them seem crazy and discredit them and use them for an example to further push an agenda versus just, hit them with the JFK. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if we've moved past the actual, get somebody out of there aspects of it. But it'll be interesting to see. Next, let's move into this CDBC shit, right? Hold on real quick. CBDCs are my bad. I gotta remember. Hold on. There we go.
And they want to implant it under our skin. Speaking about universal basic income, Professor Richard Werner said, you will get 2,000 euros into your account every month. But of course, to run this efficiently, they'll say, we need to use the latest technology, so you need the CBDC chip implant.
Okay, now this is why the mentality of welfare system and the government owes you and take care of me and all this different shit is so deadly. This is how the Wally theory gets carried out. You tell the people, hey, look, you got these robots now. You don't have to work. All you have to do is, sit home and put on your Apple headset, which the government is going to fund you, you know what I'm saying, or whatnot, what have you, or we're going to subsidize it. We're going to give you a big discount on it, and you just pay us by monthly to use it. And you stay hooked up in the metaverse or in the, virtual reality and so on and so forth, and you live it out with your family. You know what I'm saying? We give you your sex bot. You know what I'm saying? Your Android or whatever companion, not a real human being. All right. And if you're willing and ready to have children, actually procreate for the whatever we need, humans to do, because humans are always going to serve a purpose for some purpose, right? We're going to let you use either the CRISPR system and design your baby. You know what I'm saying? And then you get into some what was the movie Time? That was a movie with Justin Timberlake, right? Time was a movie with Justin Timberlake where you had to get the credits or whatever to add time to it, and so on and so forth, all these different things. Bro, all these movies and all these things, especially dystopian sci-fi films or whatever, bro, they all pretty much just come into the same damn, ending. You know? Oh yeah, hey man, them sex bots getting thrown in there, baby. Come on now. Come on, bro. Porn is the number one thing on the planet for a reason. You don't think you're gonna be virtual? What do you think the number one thing will be getting did in the fucking virtual reality, man? In time. Appreciate you. Yeah, that's the name of it. Yeah, and cynical one, that will be it. Again, now, like, people that can't have babies, hey, you can have the AI baby, right? And then what do you get to do? Well, if you can't physically have that baby due to whatever, infertility you may have or whatnot, what have you. Well, excuse me. Well, we can manufacture it. We can make it a reality because hey, biogenetics, we'll be able to manufacture a baby with your DNA, so on and so forth, or whatnot, what have you, and give it a heart, give it a brain, sentience or whatever, whatnot, what have you, and we'll build you one. We'll build it. Again, man, bro, we've looked at this. Everything is already here. It's just not implemented yet. I say we have like regular human beings, bro. I say we got a strong 15 to 20 years. We got a strong 15 to 20 years of regular humans before it's to the point of where everybody's getting into, cybernetics and bionics and all these different things. As with everything, we know when you first start out, right, it's super expensive because it's cutting edge, it's state of the art, it's brand new. Y'all remember when the y'all remember the flat screen TVs with the butt? Put a one in the chat, man, if you had like the big projector TV to where it was big as shit, right? But it had the flat screen, but it still had the butt on it. It was probably about 8 feet fucking tall. Put a one in the chat if you remember those TVs. And at least in the chat, man, if y'all want to come up, man. I mean, I know, y'all don't want to be too attached to this stuff. It's crazy conspiracy theory guy talking. But if you want to join the panel, man, to add your 2 cents, you can. Yeah, man. So So then you switch from that to the plasma TV, right? Plasma was a cutting edge. Plasma, man, you had a plasma TV, man. Hey, man, you was doing it, thousands upon thousands of dollars. And then plasma switched to just regular, LED flat screens or whatever. And now you have UHD, and now you have 4K. Hell, now you got 8K TVs, right? So as the latest and greatest of the update or whatever the technology may be, it becomes cheaper. The last version of it, or the lesser version of it, becomes much cheaper. So that's why I'm saying, man. Of course, first starting out, you're gonna see all this miraculous, spectacular shit that a person is able to do with this Neuralink install, and then of course you're gonna have the person that some disabled veteran, someone that was wounded in combat or so on and so forth, get a brand new fucking fully functional bionic arm, man. Human, real skin, hair on it, it sweats, it does all these different things, and so on and so forth, just like a real arm. Okay. And you know, then it becomes on the market. And like we say, everything starts out functional, but functionality eventually turns into what? Functionality always becomes what, people? You have to be aware, you have to be careful of this stuff. Like you said, they're doing the patrol dogs now, right? They're just patrolling. They're just going around, and they were using it, and they were getting people. People thought it was oh so cute. Social distancing, back up, back up. You are too close. You are too close. Back up, right? 6 feet of distance between, people, right? Just a calm, cool little message, right? No, Cold Steel, I'm not on the list for Neuralink. No, sir, I'm not. You will not be tapping anything into my brain, sir. Yes. Functionality eventually becomes lethality. Okay. Functionality eventually becomes lethality, especially you're talking about to this level. So yes, it's definitely going to be weaponized to a degree or something, and that's why I say, man, but people don't understand that, man. People just want to be cool. People just want like to be easy. People don't understand. Again, bro, God don't make no mistakes. All right, God don't make no mistakes, man. So once you start adding all this different stuff or whatnot to your person, and then now shit, I gotta look this up. I had this, and that's what I was gonna do, but I forgot. I forgot it the weekend I was gonna do it. They're actually talking now about, excuse me, being able to transfer your conscious, or your conscience, your spirit, your soul or whatnot into a some form of android like thing or whatnot, what have you. And immortality is a curse, man. Again, life in itself is the journey of life is completion, right? um Although you say energy is never lost, it's just transferred. None of us know what happens once we leave here, man. Once motherfucker Uncle Charles come grab you in the shoulder, who knows? But either way it goes, that's definitely supposed to happen. So if you get to this point now where we're doing this, and of course, transfer of minds, transfer of being, transfer of soul, where do we see that in? Another big, extremely impactful movie over the last 10 years or so. Get Out, right? Get Out had um hypnotism. Get Out had a whole lot of symbolism. The buck and the transfer of souls, and all these different things. Shit, gender war, race shit, all kinds of shit, man. You know, just look at again, whenever something is something that everybody's talking about, man, that shit is not by coincidence. Okay, it's a lot of energy put into that shit to draw everybody into it. Plunger, that's what they're saying. That's what they're trying to perfect now. That's the question, right? How would you know? You get into some they had two movies of the same thing. Well, actually they had two great movies. The one with Ed Norton, and the other one was with Hugh Jackman. You had what, The Illusionist, and you had The Prestige. You guys remember that? The Prestige was the better one because that was the one where pretty much Nikolai Tesla made the machine where you're actually able to clone a person, right? And of course, the whole thing about it was, what ended up happening for the sake of him completing his fucking magic trick or whatever, is that he was killing the clones. Yeah, that's a great fucking movie, man. Not today. um, because that was Brad Pitt, right? Brad Pitt was the other person in not was that Brad Pitt? Not Brad Pitt. It was not Brad Pitt. It's the guy that played fucking Batman. What's the guy's name that played Batman? And Psycho, American Psycho. What's his name? I'm horrible with these people's name, man. I can remember their face, but I can't remember their name. It was a guy that played Batman though. Yeah, Christian Bale. Yeah, Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman. Yeah, that was an awesome movie. That was an excellent movie. But yeah, that whole concept, right? Who in the crazy part is when you hear Hugh Jackman go through the process of saying, "How do I know if I'm the original, or what I'm saying, if I'm the Prestige?" At this point, I don't even know. I'm just going. So yeah, man, that would be a very very interesting thing, and that's Austin often concept now. Another big one that plays on that trope, right, or that philosophy would be now is Rick and Morty. You know, um, Rick has countless numbers of fucking clones all over the fucking universe, in different universes, in the same universe, and so on and so forth. Just so what I'm saying, to use as like cannon fodder whenever he's getting tracked down by the intergalactic fucking police people or some shit, right? Again, man, all this stuff seems like it's just entertainment, man, and ignorance is truly bliss, because once you understand, bro, that most of the stuff that they're showing you, they're promoting, they got you giggling, laughing, they got you crying, they got you whatever responding to, it's for a reason, because they actually have actual plans of it, bro. We're starting to scrape the surface now, where they're starting to purposely let out information and proof of aliens, right? Aliens, bro. They're letting for years, y'all, you're crazy. There's no fucking such thing as everything. You're talking about the fucking aliens, and now you have the United States government. This is just United States. So, and again, we're not the only fucking country on the planet. So imagine what the other countries have. Imagine what the other countries are hiding. Imagine what the other countries have access to, or what they've seen, and so on and so forth. Right? Again, think about just the transcendence of technology from the 2000s to now, right? Think about it. Well, Neuralink won't just be a part of your fantasy. Neuralink could be a part of superiority and transhumanism. Neuralink's major thing won't the escapism and fantasy part will be more of your VR and your your Apple Vision, and what's the thing, your Quest or whatever. Quest is the Facebook one, right? Quest, or what's the joint with the what's the joint from Facebook, y'all? Yeah, that'll be done. Cynical. I don't think any of us are gonna live to see Social Security is not gonna exist by the time that we're that thing. So you're gonna have to have some sort of universal basic income. Again, every empire falls. I'll just say that. No empire lasts forever. And like I told you guys, I said this um last year sometime. I've accepted that our generation will live to see America no longer being number one in the world. We will definitely live to see it. No, not the actual software Blaze, not just the metaverse. The thing I think is the fucking the VR shit. Is it Quest? It's not Quest. It's I can't think of the name of it, but that shit. The scared plane lady. No, I didn't even do this one, but everybody's talking about that, man. That motherfucker is not real. Oculus. Appreciate you, bro. Yes, yeah, Oculus. Oculus, yeah. Oculus and Apple Vision and all these VR things will be for your fantasy, right? And of course, they'll correlate it to where it can be actual touch sensory interaction. But then too at the same time, it'll just be a thing to where you're able to go, you know, these fully functional VR things are becoming a big deal. It went viral. I want to say either 2021 or this is 2021 when the thing they show you the actual video game where the guy's like running. He got the VR headset on. He got the two things in his hand. And he's actually like in like this little, it's like a concave thing, but he has the things on. And he's just running. He's actually doing stuff and he's screaming. He's freaking the fuck out. Yeah, people are gonna be able to set those up in their house. Seminole, and that shit ain't no joke, man. They're talking more and more and more about gold back currency. That happens, man. Yeah. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, right? South Africa, I think. I want to say Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia or South Africa. What's the S for? I know I got them all right except for the last one. It's either I think it's Saudi Arabia. What's the S stand for, y'all? I think it's Saudi Arabia. Yeah, my bad. Let me play this.
Professor Richard A. Werner is an economist and
It's South
professor of
Africa.
banking and finance. He is known as the proponent of a new post-crisis monetary policy he called quantitative easing, when he proposed it in Japan in 1995 as chief economist of a British investment bank. Besides experience as senior managing director and senior portfolio manager at Bear Stearns Asset Management, he has worked as a researcher or consultant at the University of Oxford, the Bank of Japan, the Development Bank of Japan, and the Asian Development Bank, among others. He is involved in support.
Shout out to Blaze. Now again, man, this QE shit is nothing new. None of these, bro, it's nothing new under the sun. Like I said, they proposed this way back, he said, 1995. And now, like you're saying, now they're gonna it's supposed to be tightening and pulling as much stuff out of the economy as possible, raising the interest rates to try and get shit back to normal. But what they're doing is they're going back to QE before we can even get out of it, man. So that's why I'm saying, bro, this is not coincidence, bro. And I'll just leave it at that. The stuff going on with the currency, bro, is point shaving. Again, the American dollar, in order to get America out of power, the American dollar cannot be in power. And the best way to fucking get, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know the deal.
Supporting the establishment of not-for-profit community banks through an initiative called Local First CIC. At the Amsterdam Science Summit 2022, Professor Werner gave a lecture on central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, and the 2030 Agenda. At the sidelines of this year's Amsterdam Science Summit, he spoke to Ivor Cummins about CBDCs and how high inflation has been orchestrated by central banks to further their agenda. There are two aspects to monetary policies that Professor Werner proposed, QE1 and QE2. QE1 is for the central bank to step in and purchase the non-performing assets in the banking system. The central bank buys up non-performing assets at face value and the problem is solved. Banks have a strong balance sheet. But that won't be enough to get banks to increase credit. So, Professor Werner proposed QE2, which allows the central bank to force the banks to create more money and push it into the economy. This would be accomplished with central banks buying assets, for example, property, from the non-bank sectors. The money the non-bank sectors receive from the sale of the property would then be deposited into the seller's bank account. When an economy is experiencing deflation, that's how central banks can push money into the economy directly, Professor Werner explained. QE1 was followed by Japan in the 1980s, but the USA disallowed Japan subsequently using QE2. And then out of the blue and at the wrong time, QE2 was adopted by the US Federal Reserve and other central banks in March 2020. The intention of adopting QE2 at that time was to cause high inflation. Why? To move economies onto a CBDC system. You have to think of CBDCs as a control system or a permit system.
Now again, you hear where they say it, right? The purpose of it was to purposely run up the interest rate and pretty much like make the currency useless. In order to get a one world currency, which is the ultimate goal, right? And that's why I say even this brick shit, so on and so forth, is just a part of the whole to get America out of the way, and then it's still everybody's gonna be on the same shit. Okay, it's not gonna be a reserve currency. It's gonna be one currency. That's the whole fucking plan. And the point and the fact of the matter is they want you to be on the China type shit. That's why we're seeing them not give a fuck about running Anheuser-Busch into the ground. Y'all understand, bro? Anheuser-Busch lost $27 billion. A beer that was or a brewing company that was the standard world standard level brewing company and the brand, one of the brands associated with America. That's why I tell y'all, man, this whole nationalism thing and patriotism, they're purposely killing that off. Okay. If you in other countries, they don't even have an option, right? In the land of the free, the home of the brave, you you just had Jill Scott, dumb fat ass, say all this stupid shit to where she's able to say it. Bro, you can't even talk like this in Russia or in China. Okay. You disappear. You say something to disrespect the country, bro, you're out of there. Okay. Not saying I agree with that. And I'm all for free speech, but the point of it is these people express to you just how much they don't understand what the fuck they have. That was symbolic. Okay, or that is symbolic. Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch pretty much being knocked down, and Bud Light being dethroned as the fucking beer of America. The number one sold fucking beer in America now is Modelo, motherfucking Mexican beer, bro. Not even the one that people like. All right, so that's that. We got Bro Truth up here. What's up with you, bro?
Hey, what's going on, man? Long time.
Hey, bro. It's always a pleasure, man. What's going on with you?
Ain't much, man. Is listening to you cook, brother. I went and saw The Sounds of Freedom on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
When I say that movie shook me to my core, bro. I ain't one of these sentimental niggas that cry at movies and shit like that, bro. Like I ain't ever been like, affected by movies like that for real. But that shit right there, bro. That shit hit a nigga in the chest, boy. I ain't even got no kids, boy. I can only imagine watching some shit. It's not even like gruesome. You seen it?
No, I ain't seen it yet. That's all. I was actually want to go see it this weekend.
Well, yeah, it's not even gruesome or nothing like that. You know what I mean? It's PG-13, but it just they shot that movie in a way. I ain't gonna spoil it nothing like that, but they shot it in a way where you sense the effect and the weight of the atrocity that's being committed without actually showing any offensive material.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, it's a very powerful film, bro. Like it's and a lot of people may not know this, but you can actually get free tickets.
Yeah,
Because
they're I seen that. I seen that. So and that's another big reason I don't think people understand, man. This was a indie film of sorts. I won't say exactly like an indie film, but this wasn't a major production film. They've
yeah,
already made the money back.
it actually released 5 years ago. It's just it took that long to even get the film made. They literally released this thing 5 years ago. It had premiered at a few like private events and whatnot, film festivals, and they basically was trying to get it pushed and promoted to get it released. Um, but no, they couldn't. They cannot farm it out to these production houses. So
Yeah, and then
it's
you I know
that's what it was. So Disney had the rights to it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it was. This was it was a acquisition made. I can't remember. It was underneath. I think it was Universal or something. It was another movie production house, and then Disney bought them. And then when Disney bought them, it basically Disney's like, nah, you know how Disney is. Disney is not really you know, it's a child friendly, company right about this time. But yeah, um, I recommend everybody go see it though, man. It's a crazy movie, man. Like for real.
Yeah. Um. So to the point of the CBDC thing. What was I saying? What was I? Where was I at? Oh yeah. So all this stuff is deliberate, man. Again, America's in the way. You can't have one group of people, and again, a lot of this stuff, y'all know I can't speak on it as I want to speak on it. I say it's point shaving going on. I'll say that. Okay, there's a reason as to why we gave so much money to a certain place. Okay, and to pretty much literally just dumping and wasting money on, and it's not going anywhere. You listen to anybody of note and anybody that has any understanding of military strategy, they'll give you their opinion on that, and I'll leave it at that. I can't really speak on it. Let's get back to the thing.
Um, are you have you covered the World Health Organization, the Global Digital Health Certificate Network?
No, we talking about the World Economic Forum, and they getting up on this. So the World Economic Forum is talking about it now. So I haven't gotten to the WHO. I wasn't going to cover the
Yeah.
WHO, but the World Economic Forum, and they're all linked. But the World Economic Forum was specifically suggesting, this as a means to access to the financial network of the world, pretty much.
Well, the WHO actually is trying to. I think they've already gotten to a point where it's damn near at a point of no return, where they're trying to implement this system. It's a uh, it's actually a treaty where any of the countries that sign on are binded legally with repercussions. Like that meaning that they can actually prosecute a extrajudicial court pressing charges on a country that does not uh, get in line or implement the rules passed from the WHO during times of a pandemic, during times of a health emergency. And
Wow.
the health emergency is, guess what? It's declared by the
The
WHO.
WHO. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually
So
did hear that.
it's
So yeah,
the global digital health certificate network.
yeah, man.
That's the implementation of this program, bro. And it don't matter if you have a constitution. It don't matter if you have laws saying that we actually care about civil rights and all that stuff. You sign on to this treaty, and they basically enforce these rules from a global level. It's the same thing with like the whole ESG score. Who
Yeah.
voted for that? Nobody voted for that. It's it's being thought of in these think tanks, the Bilderberg, the Bohemian Grove, Davos, all these rich ass, multi-billion-dollar ass conferences where the rest of the world is just basically being pulled by their nose by a group of about 300 to 500 people.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, man, and that's why I say I don't know how to take Trump for real, because he's trying to get us to separate from all that shit. He's trying to get us to leave all that shit alone. So I really don't know how to take it. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, bro, this and they're hinting at, and they're saying the next pandemic, the next pandemic, the next pandemic. They were saying that.
One thing that gets me about Trump, bro, is he's still out here fucking touting the success of Operation Warp Speed, which makes absolutely no sense with as amount of evidence. evidence that we have out there with amount of verifiable deaths
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
people
That's a
being
negative. Yeah.
yeah, how in the fuck is he still on the bandwagon of these are the greatest vaccines ever? We saved so many lives. And it's like, bro, you you can't like I'm quite sure he's been places he's getting some kind of word that the most of the people on the right on his base ain't on board with that shit. So that particular issue alone got me thinking, okay, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been on a bandwagon for any fucking politician or anybody out there like you know what I'm saying? I call it down the middle. There's certain things that they do. You know what I'm saying? If certain like, you know, public officials, a majority of them are scumbags. Now, one person that I did trust and I actually met was Ron Paul, you know, and I'd go off of his voting record. Wait, what has he been pushing? Like what kind of person he is personally. I read his books. You know what I mean? He has a solid personal philosophy on life. You know what I mean? You know what he believes, and he's never moved from that rock. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And for me anyway, like just looking at Trump, his positions have been all over the place. If you actually look at his background, he shifted from different things. Like you know what I mean? Like that's another part. And at one point he was like he was tight with the Clintons, and you know what I mean? Like so I now when you look at the current goofball we have as so-called president, yeah, I'll take a fucking dirty monkey rag over Joe Biden, my nigga. Like for real, nigga. Hey, for real. Hey, I could pick a nigga off of out of 7-Eleven, you know, about 3:32 in the morning to run the country better than Joe Biden. But yeah, there are certain things about Trump, man. You know, and the whole push of the vaccine is one of them because at this point, bro, we got too much evidence out there that shows this shit was a bad idea.
Yeah.
You know, and also a lot of his picks, you know, a lot of his cabinet picks didn't make a lot of sense. You know,
Well, they're touting it and they're trying to build it up to be like if he comes through this time, since it'll be the second time around, and they fucked him over. I think that's the thing. So
yeah,
his
you're
ego and
absolutely right about that.
so that's what I'm saying. So that's like that's he's not the type of dude you want to cross or piss over. So like definitely you're like, hey, I don't know what we can say, but let's just say, you know, there was something weird about the last presidential election. We'll just say that, right? So understanding that, and this time around as to where like nobody's happy with the current administration, you know what I'm saying? More likely than not, if this guy gets in and he does what he said he's going to do as far as, you know, cleaning things up, so on and so forth, you know, who knows? But I think even if he actually got close to doing that, they'll hit his ass with a JFK anyway. So, I mean.
Speaking of JFK, Robert F. Kennedy.
Yeah, Robert
Jr.
Kennedy Jr.
Yeah, man. Hey, he's something to look out for, bro.
Hey, buddy, I see, and you know what? And you can't even play his shit on here because you know he going super hard, man, and giving a lot of the facts and the data, and they don't even want, you know, it's people that still, like you said, bro. I can't believe the people that are still trying to promote the bullshit, dog. When the information and the data is finally out here, as far as like the adverse effect reactions and actual deaths involved, right?
Well, you got to think about it like this, man. A lot of people bought the shit hook, line, and sinker, and there's a shit ton of self-reflection that goes on with realizing that you were wrong and actually admitted it. A lot of people don't have that in them. You know what I mean? And a lot of people got so much invested in that vaccine being healthy, they don't evangelize it. They done gave it to their kids. They done, you know, forced their loved ones to get it. You know how much mental gymnastics, how much work they got to do in their head in order to realize that they were wrong and they potentially have killed or maimed or put their loved ones in jeopardy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that is your brain is going to do whatever it can to protect itself subconsciously and somewhat consciously. So they're gonna block out anything that could possibly bring those dire consequences on itself, right? The brain is going to say, "Wait a minute, hold up, I don't want to read that. No, that's not true. That's fake news. That's QAnon conspiracy." Just like with the news coming out, you got mainstream news sources talking about uh the sounds of freedom is QAnon conspiracy theory shit,
Yeah.
bro. Like, what? This was a based on a true story. The actual agent, the Homeland Department of Homeland Security agent, he testified on the House floor before, back in 2018, no, 2019. Like,
Yep. Like you
it,
said, man, if it's going against that thing, though, let me play this.
Not a currency, Professor Werner explained. It's a conditional currency based on you actually getting that permit. Now, if you happen to be some kind of critic of government policy or a critic of central banks, this could be difficult. Or if you dare to step out of the 15-minute city zone, maybe you'll find that, oh, my CBDC is not working. Of course, these are things we've seen already in China. There's plenty of videos where somebody tries to use it to buy a ticket and it doesn't work because his social credit scores are low. And, effectively, there's no real right to appeal. With very few people controlling the very many, the controllers will use computers and algorithms to run the system. If you appeal the blocking of CDBCs, you'll be dealing with automated responses. Professor Werner explained that the central planners, as he calls them, orchestrate inflation to cover up changes to banking systems. For example, in the 1970s, high inflation was orchestrated to cover up the move of the gold-backed US dollar to the petrodollar. And the high inflation we've experienced in 2021-2022 has been orchestrated to cover up the move from the petrodollar to CBDCs. In March 2020, the Federal Reserve and other key central banks adopted QE2, a recommendation for deflation or a shrinking economy. In March 2020, economies weren't shrinking, but the Federal Reserve adopted QE2 and bought up assets from non-banks, forcing banks to create credit. It was very clear it was going to create inflation. This was not an error in judgment, it was intentional, Professor Werner explained. It's a very specific policy that is very rarely taken. Proof that this was a deliberate action, Professor Werner said, was that just before COVID in August 2019, there was a conference in Jackson Hole of the annual Central Bankers Conference, but it invited BlackRock, the big asset manager, and BlackRock made a proposal. They said there will be another crisis, but this time we should create inflation. They never explain why, they just say we must create inflation, and here's how we're going to do it, and they cited my proposal without mentioning my name, of course. Related. Melissa Shemiai, we have been fooled into believing that currency is money. People have this idea that that's my money in the bank.
Again, man, this right here, and literally seen this with the Southern Bank or whatever, SVB Bank in Cali. Bank runs were a thing, man. Bank runs were always a thing, and it was a weaponized thing that one bank would use against another one back in the day to pretty much bankrupt it and take it out of competition. People would put their gold in there, their extra currency that was there, and they would tell them, "Hey, man, these people don't have enough money to cover the loans or enough money to cover the money that people have in it." Create panic and fear. People will go and fucking pull all their fucking money out of the bank, and now the bank doesn't have anything to fucking use to lend money because everybody took the money out. Same thing, different fucking, different decade, different generation. You create this fucking unrest, dog, with the SVB situation. They have to go under, and then they allow JP Morgan Chase to have first dibs on buying all of the positive assets and none of the negatives. So again, bro, when you start talking on this level, it's a dirty, dirty game, and only people that are in that big of a league are allowed to play. Shout out to Doug. Doug sent me a list of the banks and people organizations that are already pretty much signed up for the CBDC program. And guess who is the biggest bank that's on there? Fucking JP Morgan Chase. So trust me, lead people, be careful, man, because they're already talking about this as to where they're going to be determining what you can and can't buy with your currency. They don't want you to. They feel like, hey, we don't want you to buy guns with the money. You can't buy guns. You can't buy ammo. You can't buy this. You can't buy that. Or if you allow this social credit system bullshit to happen, man, this is just going to be such restrictive, and that's what I don't think people. This is why um, American nationalism, American patriotism is extremely, extremely important because that thing is dying. Okay, this when we're you're saying something that hurts my feelings, so you shouldn't speak. Getting rid of freedom of speech and getting rid of all this different stuff, bro. You get people to shut up. This is how you get shit like this forced on, and no one can speak up. Right? If you make speech illegal, right? You get to say that, hey, saying that a man is a man, and a woman is a woman is somehow hate speech, right? Then you get to say, and that's a fact. Those are two factual things, right? Well, if you can say there's something about factual, you can make it up something that's arbitrary. And that's what people don't understand. So it's a major, major shift coming, man. And the way that people are able to navigate around it is going to be interesting. But more likely than not, because people don't want to deal with the hassle, people don't want to, do anything difficult or whatnot, what have you, do a little bit of suffering for the ultimate goal of everybody winning. Most people are just gonna, open their hand or their finger, prick their finger or whatever inside of their thumb, whatever it may be, man, and get it so they can just, get their four for foes, go get their fucking drink from the liquor store, and so they can spend money on them hoes. Okay, bars. So you have to understand that,
Hey,
man. But go ahead.
yeah, you're right, man. You're absolutely right. Just like you had a wave of people that were, coaxed to put a toxic, untested, not safe, not effective. Well, I mean, this is according to the conspiracy theories, of course. We all know, Mrs. Shuzitsky, that these vaccines are safe and effective, and everyone should be boosted. You know what I mean? I think isn't your channel sponsored by Pfizer, Mr. Fantastic?
I ain't got the check. I ain't got the check in the mail, man.
I
I
just
ain't
want
got
to
the
keep
check
you
in
on.
the mail.
I want to keep you on the good side of things, man.
Yeah,
You never
yeah,
know
we
when
we good. Yeah, we good. We
yeah,
good.
you
Yeah,
never know when Pfizer
yeah.
gonna call, man. But yeah, man, just like you have people ready, rolling up their sleeves to take that, man. When you talking about lemons, you talking about people that are just sleepwalking through life, man. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a shit ton of folk. A lot of folk out here wanting to take that. A lot. They looking at it from a convenience standpoint. It's the same thing with TikTok. You know, it's I be telling people all the time about how there's a major difference between the privacy uh between TikToks and Instagram and Facebook. TikTok, their particular system doesn't back in. I mean, well, Facebook and Instagram, it doesn't back in into the government of China because Facebook, Instagram are American companies that have to follow certain laws especially when it comes to data storage and all that stuff. TikTok, you got that shit on your phone, everything on your phone. Don't
Yeah.
matter what it is being siphoned off. And people don't care, bro. So when you talk about taking that chip, bro, that's just another step that they're willing to take on because again, like people are just used to being told what to do and completely comfortable with going along to get along type shit. And in regards to this whole CBDC thing, Nigeria, they implemented a full-on digital currency. There've been riots in Nigeria since the beginning of this year because they had basically restricted the use of paper currency in Nigeria. Nigeria is one of the among the first African countries to implement full CBDC digital currencies.
Mm.
And people are literally starting to starve and credit tightening. You know, this is a country where you got vendors that have been operating, you know what I'm saying, like in the streets, exchanging money for hundreds of years. And then all of a sudden, I think they started implementing back in August 2022. And now the banks are no longer taking any physical deposits.
Yeah, man, that's scary, dog. Listen, I'm telling y'all, man, that again, and that's why I say it's gonna be the craziest thing, and that's gonna be really, really the you know how all of the rebellions and all that shit starts, like for real, bro. Like when they say, hey, you can't use your dollar here anymore, right? And you pretty much all but force people into being convenience. Again, bro, again, man, I know this shit sounds crazy. I know it sounds like just nigga, it's really not this serious, not that deep, but it really is. A convenience store is called that for a reason, bro. Again, the human being's worst enemy, man, is laziness and complacency. Laziness and complacency, that's a natural fucking thing that we fight against every fucking single day. That's why you got to work out. That's why you got to get up and go to work. That's why you have to, make yourself do anything, because the body's natural state, man, is just like, hey, just can I just lay here? Can I just fucking lay here and get them? Remember when they did the fucking the shit that shocked you in the abs, the fucking ab shocker, where you can just lay on the couch and eat fucking a gallon of ice cream, but the ab shocker, motherfucking.
No, hey, no cap, no cap though, bro. I had one of them other. That bitch work. And no, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, I ain't no fat nigga. I get to my ass to the gym
No,
at
that's what
least
I'm
5
saying.
days.
Nah, of course, if
But
you work, yeah,
the electrostimulation,
yeah,
girl. I
exactly,
tell
yeah,
you, nigga, that
yeah,
shit hurt. That
yeah.
shit
It hurt
work,
like a motherfucker
boy.
because it's shocking the shit out of you. But yeah, but you
Boy,
said
that
most
shit
most
working like
people,
a motherfucker,
yeah,
man. Like for
most
real.
people though, like I said, most people though, they not already in the gym, and that's supposed to be
Oh
something like
yeah,
to
yeah,
piss
yeah,
you off,
yeah.
after all. This is a motherfucker that's 400 pounds, man. The bitch that they got to put an extension around the belt for it to
Nah,
even
hey,
hit their stomach.
they getting that motherfucking shake weight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
They got
that's the thing. So I'm telling you, man, when this stuff rolls out, you're gonna have a couple of people here and there that, yeah, man, nah, bro, I'm good. But more and more, more difficult it becomes, man. They start tightening shit up, and they start tightening up the leash, as they say, man. More people gonna lay it down. More people gonna lay it down, man. And like you said, once that's it, man, it's pretty much that's all she wrote. Then you have the people that, and then you make it criminal for those that are there to stick it out. Again, another big part of this forced vaccine thing, man, was a test run to see how many people were going to press back against it, right? How many people were not going to comply? How many people were willing to, lose their jobs? How many people were willing to, what I'm saying, wait it out and do all these different things, right? So yeah,
well, the
man.
thing is, it's gonna get to a point where none of that even matters because look at what they're doing to the food supply. You know,
Yeah.
they're actively
That's
trying to
that's coming
push
up
this
next.
into yeah,
Talking about they're talking about vaccinating all the animals, man. Force
yeah,
pretty
and
much
put
if you
they hell, they're talking about using mRNA technology in plants.
yeah, in the fruits and plants. Yep.
Yeah,
Produce.
so it's
Yeah.
like you can't even escape this. I mean, even if you eat clean as possible, bro, we all go out and grab, something real quick every now and then, goddamn.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Like you said, yeah. And
And
then not to mention, like you said, one, especially now since we have the what do they call it? The
the the
manufactured
uh
the
the manufactured
manufactured meat.
chicken,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
they FDA approved that what 2 weeks ago,
Yep.
and you already got two restaurants in New York, you know, supposedly critically acclaimed chef, 5-star chef restaurants saying that they're gonna be the first ones to serve it up as if that's some kind of, you know, something to be proud about.
Shout out to Rico and that too. Everybody forgot about this. Yeah, I hadn't even mentioned this. We still haven't seen the residual effects of the two top 10 wheat producers of the world being in conflict right now. and not be able to really import or export any type of
Oh God,
wheat.
it's just starting to trickle down. Not
Yeah.
only that, you also have these draconian climate change agenda rules going and getting put in place across the world. Look at the Netherlands. You literally got the governments telling their farmers they have to basically cull half of their herds.
Yeah, then
They have to shut down.
which prime minister? Some prime minister just stepped down. Was that them, or was that the Netherlands, or was that like Denmark or something? It was one of those.
I'm not sure either.
It was a country. If you got somebody in the chat knows who it is, a prime minister just stepped down, man, after he was a major part in like he said, pulling down some of the harshest farm regulations, bro, like in the history of the country. Listen, dog, it's just be prepared, man. I'm again, we don't do the doom and gloom over here, but bro, please do your research, people. Please do your research. Please, have something in store to shore yourself up. If
And,
there is crazy shit that
and
happens.
let's not forget all of the food processing plants that just miraculously burst
Yeah,
into flames every year.
burnt down,
And,
got hacked.
and it's
Um,
hundreds of thousands of chickens
chickens and pigs that get drowned and
cows
burned
just
up. Yep.
dropping. You see how them cows that dropped dead in Texas talk
Yeah.
about they had heat stroke. They
Yeah, we
like
talked.
what?
Yeah,
Nigga, what?
I talked about that when it happened. Yeah.
They're like, hold up, bro. Nigga, these cows that have been basically raised and born and stayed in this area how long? For hundreds of years? And you mean to tell me just now?
One day, yeah, all of them, just the whole thing die. And remember that don't even count the explosion. The explosion of a fucking cow farm, bro, to where you blow up 100 some thousand, 200 some thousand fucking cows.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah, I
Crazy.
forgot. Yeah, bro. Like, come on now, man. It's like you add all this shit together, man. Yeah, this
People
shit.
don't, but like I said, man, people don't see it, bro. I told y'all, man, get that deep freezer, bro, and stack it full of meat. Pause. All right, telling you, you better if you like it, even if you, hey, I ain't with the swine, man, but even if you something, bro, you gonna or nigga, you better set you up a damn a deer feeding place or something, man. Do something, bro, because like you said, bro, this shit right here, bro. Next couple years, who knows? You know what I'm saying? Who knows, bro? But it's definitely getting scary out here.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's why I don't pass up any roadkill, my brother. Saying shit, just the other day, I was on my way. I was on my way to get my hair cut, man. I hit a goose, nigga. I was like, hell yes, nigga, dinner.
You ain't going that far.
Yeah, we're in a goose dinner, nigga.
Oh man.
So man, I had to fight.
What?
I had to fight a family of Guatemalans, man. They tried to take my meal, man.
Hey, they knife game vicious. Be careful, bro. We're gonna get
Yeah,
shanked up.
man. Yeah, Pato, like, hold on, son. I'm like, hey, man, like, I done seen Sounds of Freedom. Now I know y'all get down, y'all know.
Yeah, man.
Carney is trying to control the world through green finance. And there's one more factor, Professor Werner said. The Federal Reserve hired BlackRock in March 2020 to buy assets, cause for a deflationary situation, but the way they were using it had to cause inflation, there was no doubt. And they knew it because they even said it. So, this current inflation is entirely intentionally created by the central banks, by the central planners. So how are we going to punish them for this? Oh, let's give them more powers, let's give them unprecedented powers over everything.
And I'll just leave that one right there, man. Again, bro, the central bank has been with the shits for the longest. We told y'all, man. The creature from Jekyll Island. We told y'all what happened with the whole Titanic, bro. That shit was, it was not coincidental. It was not what they told you it was. Motherfuckers got motherfuckers up out of their way. But let's listen to this, man, about
not for $10 million would we inject our animals with this mRNA vaccine that everybody's talking about. Wanted to address this. We've been getting a lot of questions recently and let everybody know where we stand, where Carter Country Meats stands. And if it is mandated, we won't comply because we need to be clear that
But how many manufacturers will comply?
And not just
how many farms will be bought out?
exactly. Not just how many will comply, but ultimately what happens once they make it illegal for you to sell any meat that's not mRNA infused.
Just
Right?
like when they locking up, sending FBI raids in these Amish farms.
Yeah.
You know, sending a whole SWAT team because the nigga want to buy some milk, some
Yeah,
clean milk.
Yeah,
And
you
the thing
gotta.
is, you literally got some of this milk out here that's fresh. I'm lactose intolerant, but I don't have some like farm fresh milk, bro. I don't even. It's like it don't affect me like that, like with pasteurized milk.
Uh-huh.
It's different.
this mRNA stuff, it is not a vaccine. It is a gene therapy. And I know there's some very smart, very intelligent people out there. But when you get it to this level, you're playing God.
I don't know why fucking Twitter does this shit. I hate it.
And as far as I'm concerned, the last time I prayed, that position was already filled. And for two, we're not addressing the elephant in the room, which is the management. And when you operate in a regenerative practice and keep animals out and operating more in terms of the law of nature and not in this like highly confined environment, the prevalence.
Man, you got that bitch chopped and screwed.
I've been doing this my whole life, and I've done it. I've had cattle in feedlot, and I've doctored them, and had sick ones all over the place, and just cattle die.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Goddamn, they not go work with us, man. But let's see one more. Oh, I was supposed to show you this before. Hold on. Let me see.
You think about the benefits of digital money. There are.
But I'm gonna fall back, man. Hey, thanks for having me up, brother.
Huge potential gains. It's not just about digital forms of physical currency. You can have programmability, units of central bank currency.
But yeah, man, hey, I'm gonna go and fall off, man.
Hey,
thanks for having me on, brother.
I appreciate you, man. Always.
Yo.
You could have, as I argue in my book, a potentially better.
Bro, I don't know.
And yeah, some people might see it as a darker world where the government can be used to purchase some things.
So pretty much is this Indian dude that's explaining the whole process of how CBDC could work from a chip situation or whatnot, what have you, and all these different things, man. Listen, the CBDC shit, man, is the most controlling and powerful shit ever because you need money to live. All right, you gotta have money to live. You gotta have money to be able to operate in the world. All those different things. But let's go to this one. I don't know why this shit does this shit, man. This shit really pissed me the fuck off, but now I don't know if you guys are familiar. Well, you are familiar with this guy, so I'm gonna start with him. So this is the shit that the Shade Room is showing. Okay. Jamie Foxx.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. Oh my God. Your purse. Wait, sir. He was taking a picture.
Now, they showed this fake ass thing of Jamie Foxx picking up this lady's purse and giving it back to her. The problem is this nigga was just over here. Hold on, let me see. With a Boosie fade just yesterday. Or just earlier today. This ain't adding up. Okay? Not adding up. Let me go to TMZ. Now, you know we done heard everything about Gucci Man and a couple of other characters when it comes to these, these stand-ins. We'll just call it that, right? Stand-ins. This is allegedly Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx. Okay, yeah, funny. But this is Jamie Foxx right here. Clearly, head full of hair, right? Or Boosie fade. He got the Boosie fade going right here, right? This is today. They put this out like today, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? That sweet Sunday sun, right? So Sunday, all right. This is when they put it down from him fucking, being first time public appearance in forever, right? I'm guessing it's supposed to be Katie Holmes in the background or whatever. You clearly see he has hair right here, though. Clearly, hair. Okay, hair.
You see.
Right. Now we go back to the one right here. Jamie Foxx looking like Brody, man. Got a bald head. Come on, man. He just had the Boosie fade on motherfucking Sunday, man. Come on, man. Come on now, man. You go from Boosie fade to bald in 2 days. Come on, bro. Stop playing, bro. Ain't nobody doing that. Jamie Foxx too old to just go from this, you know what I'm saying, to come on, dog. And then people already done broke it down. They done looked at the number in the background or whatever, man. Like this is like a 2-year-old, damn near 3-year-old photo. Damn near 3-year-old photo, man. So they done already got him caught up. It's a clone, man. Yeah, man. They done got old Jamie up out of there, man. But this one right here, man, was a big one. Let me bring it up. Do I have it? Yeah, here we go. Now, anybody that's familiar with the fitness community or whatever, I follow this guy on IG. This dude was a monster. He was a freak. He was a physical specimen, man. Almost, unmatched. Had one of the best physiques in bodybuilding. And he wasn't like, traditional guy. I think he was like, they call him like a natural bikini type thing or whatever. I forget the term they use for it. I don't know. But this guy right here, man, clearly 30 years old, so on and so forth, all this stuff. And he had this thing where he would flex his chest muscles, and you could see the fibers in his chest like wave, crazy shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a kaleidoscope or something. It was wild. But, this guy right here, man, died 30 years old. 30. Died. Some people were talking about, well, hey, maybe, he took, extracurriculars. Maybe he did all these things and so on and so forth. Is that no. We all know what's going on here. Okay. Same thing with Jamie Foxx. as to where people were talking about they brought up the pickleball lie and all these different things and whatnot, what have you. Listen, people, again, man, if you took that thing, get your blood checked. Okay. I beg of you, I plead of you, get your blood checked for traces or shit like blood clots and stuff, man. Okay. Do it. If you gotta do it on the copay with the emergency room, hey man, I'm not you figure it out. I'll say that. Okay. You know what I mean? You figure it out. But yeah, man. A lot of people saying that, man. A lot of people saying that, and it remains to be seen. We'll see. But this I had to show y'all who they saying he really is. Hold on, my bad. This is the Jamie Foxx that they saying it is though. Yeah, hold on. And like I said, you can clearly see that's a stunt double. I already saw he's very, very close. Shout out to J Speed, man, and happy birthday, OG J Speed. I don't know if you guys noticed. He was on Bernard Riley's. I want to say had to be last week because today's Tuesday, so it had to be last week sometime. And it was his birthday. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but OG J Speed was the stunt double for Samuel L. Jackson. And them old fellas do look alike, and I understand it. So shout out to the stunt doubles. But yeah, this guy right here, man, everybody showing it around, and I guess it got out as to where like one of these situations, this was him versus Jamie Foxx. I don't know. So yeah, man. Stay woke, people, as they say. Be aware, man. Hey, we covered a lot tonight, man. I do these 10-4 Tuesdays, man. For you, aspiring and budding, and also already well equipped in the know, tinfoil hats out there, conspiracy theorists, you crazy kooky motherfuckers, you. I do it for y'all, man, and I greatly appreciate y'all for pulling up on me. With that being said, bro, that's that on that one. Catch y'all on the next one. Holla.